Hello there, welcome back to the show. Yes, as that very nice gentleman just mentioned, we are live here at GITEX Global 2022, which is, of course, the world's largest tech and startup event. And if you've ever been down here, in fact, if you've been here at all over the last 3 days, you will solidly believe that statement. I have never seen such a busy, buzzing conference in my entire life. And many of the exhibitors here, we've got government ministries, we've got academics, we've got space scientists, programmers, data scientists, and straight down the line geeks. But we've also got some people who are involved in the Internet of Things and the metaverse and cybersecurity and all types of topics that, let's be honest, many of us don't really understand. And one company showing off the technology that they have to offer down here at GITEX is TMRW Foundation, which I think I'm probably supposed to pronounce Tomorrow Foundation, who are premiering Room, which according to the blurb offers a look into the future, get this, of the three-dimensional internet, or the Internet of Life. Now, if you're wondering why we're so interested in this, it's because the technology is going to help the Dubai metaverse strategy in areas such as healthcare, tourism, education, retail, remote work and legal. And earlier this year, the Tomorrow Foundation was one of the major supporters of the Ministry of Health and Prevention's launch of the world's first metaverse customer happiness service centre. So to tell us more about that, we have collared the chairman and CEO of the Tomorrow Foundation, Cevat Yerli. Welcome to the agenda. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. I'm enjoying GITEX. It's been an enormously busy conference. It's our first GITEX, and it's been phenomenal so far.
Welcome to the party. I have to say, I reckon it's my fifth so far, and I've never seen anything like it. Now, I just summarised sort of the background of your company, the Tomorrow Foundation. I said words, but I'm not sure I knew what they meant. So tell me how Room and the three-dimensional internet is going to have an impact on my life and people who are listening to this going forward.
Okay, in a very simple way, let's see this way. The first internet was like, when we accessed the internet, it was about information, getting information of all kinds, news and such things. The second internet was like social media, where people could connect with people, right? And so it was about connecting without having to travel there and exchange business cards. You could do it over the internet. And the third internet, as we see it, is about getting together. Getting together is key for building relationships of all kinds. Relationships are important to our nature, right? We are social animals. We need to be together with people. We need to get together to further our life, right? So to get together, however, we need a space. Just in real life, you have to share a space. And so a two-dimensional way doesn't allow us to get together, really. So we have worked on a 3D version of the internet that is more like concurrent, like we can be together in a space and then share values, like for collaboration, for working, for shopping, for education, for healthcare, for, by the way, 90% of your life activities. Hence, we call it the Internet of Life. And we make it the most lifelike way by sharing your video-based avatar presence that is not this typical avatar, which is like a cartoon look, but it actually is you. It's a video, right? And we use high-end technology like artificial intelligence to make sure your background is not part of the story, like in a video conference system, right? So we make communications natural and we humanize technology. And Room is the first application that brings Internet of Life to the future of work and collaboration space.
Are you deliberately avoiding the word metaverse?
Yes, I do, because the metaverse is in my eyes, the future of the game industry and entertainment industry. It is more about the evolution of, like, if you look at games where started, I built games for 22 years myself, and gaming technologies, that's what my background is, right? So I have a fair bit of knowledge there. But so the game industry started with single-player games, and then with connected online games, right? All the way to today. And I do believe metaverse is about interconnected worlds where you have avatars of all sorts. You might be a cowboy, you might be like a science fiction soldier, warrior, orc, whatever you want to be. Right?
A hedgehog.
Yeah, a hedgehog as well. You escape from real life, right? And you do this maybe, by the way, an hour or two, and that's what 3 billion people do today, right? And so the future of the gaming is rooted in this kind of worlds where I can be in a hedgehog in a racing game, in another game, I can jump between games, right? That's not possible today. So that's going to be like 2026, 28, where metaverse will really pick up, and where maybe there's like 5 billion gamers from today 3 billion gamers. So what we build is not about metaverse, it's about your life. We don't want you to escape from your life. We want you to deal with your life. We want you to optimize it. We want to make sure that you can improve your local life by saving your trip to the government center, for example, or to a doctor, or to the school, right? And do a lot of these activities over the internet, lifelike, by sitting face to face with real people, right? In a nice space that is an envelope that's like a space that gives you the context, like real life, right? And by the way, these kind of experiences also memorize more efficiently. When you have video conferencing on one hand, it's not a natural way of communicating, it makes people tired. But if you're in a metaverse, you're like, who's that guy? Because you just see an avatar.
You've got instant yes, I understand. Right? You don't have instant recognition, it's a random cartoon.
Exactly, and communication is non-verbal. 80% of communication is body language and expressions, not so much so the words you say. And so by Internet of Life, you hear the voice, but you also see the whole other 80% of the communication, which makes for businesses very much sense, because businesses that have people that work remotely, they need to make sure their teams are more efficient, more productive, and more engaged, not as tired.
Am I going to be able to just do it through my computer screen that I've got up now with my script on it?
Yes, very good point. In fact, and I forgot to mention that. So
that is my job, by the way. I'm meant to ask questions.
Yeah. So if you look at metaverses, often they require VR headsets, right? And then you have like other applications you have to install in other solutions. We are running on a browser, on any browser. In fact, that's been our key focus, to be the most inclusive technology in the world, right? That 3 billion people could theoretically receive a link to join a space, and you would not know which space, because it depends on who's hosting it. Could be the Ministry of Health, could be a bank, could be your work, could be a client that sends you. So there's exploration built in, a bit of a surprise moment when you click and you go, oh, where am I now, right? And then you sit face to face. And that happens on browsers, on mobile, on tablets, on laptops, on computers. So, like I said, we gamify communication and make it available to 3 billion people without any installation and without any headsets. So everything will work immediately.
Does it require a huge amount of data or a huge amount of processing power?
That's a very good question. So, no. The short answer is no. A little bit long answer is that we optimize the video by not sending your background, right? Because it's not part of it. So what we do is we use artificial intelligence technology to remove your background and optimize the transmission. So we improve the transmission on one hand, and we reduce the bandwidth on the other hand, right? So compared to other video conference systems, we are using about 20% less data.
Do you know, I don't think anyone has ever explained either the metaverse or the sort of concept of being in one of these 3D meeting rooms with such clarity. For the first time, I'd actually want to join one, and I see the point of it. But previously, I'd always been a bit like, well, you know, it's a bit of a pain to go to the government office, but it's the only way you're really going to crack through and get the communication over. Yeah. But now you say that it will feel real enough that I might even forget that I'm not there.
Absolutely. It is real. That's the point. It is about life. It is you on the video, and it protects your privacy. It pushes you into a 3D world. It sits you where you need to sit, or you can walk around. And then when you sit face to face with the person, let's say it's a public servant in a government service, and you say, I need to renew my Emirates ID, and you are stuck in the app, then an agent can come in, he or she can advise you how to do it, or do it with you together at that point, right? And that's the most human way of doing this.
Are you working already with the Dubai metaverse strategy, or are you already working with the government to bring this into sort of their strategies, essentially, to bring it into their policies?
Yes, so we have several touch points that we are not allowed to talk about yet.
Oh,
but,
no!
but also a few that we can highlight. And the first Dubai Metaverse Assembly, which was end of September.
Yes. Under
the patronage of His Royal Highness Sheikh Hamdan, which is a brilliant strategy for the metaverse, right? We had shown with the Emirates Health Services an implementation of Internet of Life for their purpose, right? And it is absolutely lifelike. His Excellency, the Minister of Economy, also was there, right? He He was appraising it as because it's lifelike, and we think that for government services, for banks, for doctors, for all of these real life scenarios, you have to be real. It has to be real people, right? You have to see at a glance, that's the person I'm talking about. Is his life, and it's real, and it's authenticated as well, right? All of these things. So we are looking forward to, of course, deepen our relationships in Dubai. I live myself personally here since about a year now. And we couldn't be happier to be in Dubai, because Dubai is the right place to be, to invent the future of the internet. And for that matter, by the way, we celebrated our launch 2 days ago on the 10th of October. Room has launched globally out of Dubai through the GITEX. So this is our underpinning of the strategy here.
I mean, absolutely fascinating to hear about it, how it's going to work. How soon before I go and renew my Emirates ID do you think through Room or that type of that sort of
Internet of Life
yeah.
experience?
Yeah.
So
I'm losing my words. I've been doing it for too long.
Yeah, and I'm losing my voice as well, as you can feel.
Well, we need you some water.
Yeah. So when if you think about the way this works, right? It's you work on pilot software, and you prove the concept out. You have to convince a few decision makers on the way to that, right? And all of this is requiring a test, with audiences, and you have to make sure that you experiment with it and see all the problems and solve them and all the issues. And then once they iron out, you build in the services you need, like what case scenarios you want to cover. I mean, you talked about the renewal of the Emirates ID. I think that's one of the most demanded requests, and I think that's what we probably one of the first. And I hope we can implement that with the Prime Minister office or other government bodies in the very, very near future.
You see, that was going to be my question. How soon? I'll let you. You're doing a deliberate sip of water there to delay your answer, I can tell.
So I think it is really about how fast we can move together, right? At the end of the day, because
you guys are ready, basically.
Yes, we are ready to do it, and it is about making determined decisions and aligning the strategy, right? Because it's a more national topic, but when you look at it, it is inevitable. Yeah, and we would love to make sure Dubai or UAE is the very first country to do this, and I do believe they will be. From what I'm seeing, from the enthusiasm to new technologies, it is clear they will be, and we are here to help.
Absolutely fascinating to speak to you. Thank you so much. Genuinely, the first time I've ever wanted to engage with the metaverse or any sort of 3D world. So Cevat Yerli, thank you very much indeed, the Chairman and CEO of the Tomorrow Foundation. An absolute pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Georgia.